the nurturer, the helper, finding the appropriate balance for success. The nurturer in light is someone who is warm and friendly, emotionally supportive, and others are drawn to you instinctively. They're kind, caring people who are easy to talk to and always willing to help. If you are a nurturer, you may find people come to you and share their problems with you unsolicited. And mostly, it makes you feel good to be able to listen and help others in need. Typically filled with imagination, the nurturer's ethos is that of love, caring, and honesty. Many nurturers are outgoing, amazing at organizing events, and they socialize and network beautifully and easily. They're very in tune with others, almost emphatically sensing when something is wrong, and are quick to feel deep emotions or pain. As with all types, there is a shadow side to this personality. And if there's no one around to help, they feel lost and unnecessary in their role. Naomi is a perfect example. She'd given up her career in business to devote herself to her family needs. Satisfied that her role at home was paramount to her husband and to her son, she felt happy and fulfilled. As time drifted by, she began realizing that her husband needed her less and less, and he spent a lot more time away on business trips, and her son, now in his teens, was spending more time out with his friends. Naomi began to feel undervalued and unloved. She felt that she had sacrificed her career for her family, and now no one cared. Naomi searched and found a job in a recruitment agency. It didn't take her long to fall in love with her new work and the people whose lives she touched. Naturally warm and sympathetic, she was welcomed with open arms by her colleagues and soon carved out her own niche within the organization. She absolutely loved placing the right people in the roles, matching their skill set, and maintained ongoing contact with each and every one of them, following their career path. After some time, there was a new recruit, Helen, who had some limited experience, but she was really keen to learn. Helen was struggling in her new role and soon turned in desperation to Naomi for help. She said she was struggling to learn the ropes and felt she wasn't really fitting in. Confiding in Naomi, Helen explained that she needed this job because her husband was out of work, and she was the main income earner. She said, "As you can understand, it's imperative I do well here. I need this job." It was an easy decision for Naomi to help Helen. And in typical Naomi style, she devoted a lot of her own personal time to help and develop her abilities, and mentored Helen through her challenging learning curve. Helen blossomed under Naomi's coaching. Some time passed and the company announced a restructure. The news broke and there was only going to be one recruitment agent in that department. So both Naomi and Helen had to apply for this role. Naomi was devastated to learn that she had been the one being made redundant because she was the older one and on a slightly higher salary. She felt bitter and hurt that after all her support and advice, she had lost out to the younger woman. Feeling hopeless, Naomi, with the help of the agency, sought out the expertise of a career coach. In a very short time, she discovered it was in her nature to put the needs of others before her own. She came to the realization that she had been living in a negative bubble and found within a story she'd been telling herself over and over again. You aren't loved for who you really are, but for what you do to please others. As you can imagine, she'd convinced herself she wasn't lovable and therefore rejectable. Something she knew she wanted to let go of. Looking closer at why she took this role and what she gained from it, Naomi could see that this was a recurring pattern throughout her life. She had done this not only in her workplace, but with her friends and in her marriage. It wasn't long before it all came perfectly clear where this path would lead, unless she created change in her beliefs and in her behavior. Naomi's coaching enabled her to see that she could begin developing clear boundaries with a realistic sense of human limits and still be a loving and caring individual, while being a fountain of hope to others as well as self. Learning to say no is okay, and paying attention to her own personal needs and wants meant nourishing self, and that's a good thing. Naomi decided to go back to studying, trained in a different role, and eventually embraced a new career. She now finds it easy to communicate her feelings to her family, and the whole family now enjoys the benefits of her letting go of those deeply rooted insecurities. Naomi learnt to separate love from the pitfall of approval and attention, and realized love does not require a molding or altering of self, but the simple practice of spending quality time alone and developing independent activities allowed her to feel good about herself and claim her own point of view, all of which are good for the soul. In conclusion, life turned out far better for Naomi than she ever imagined possible. And in reflection, her being made redundant was the best thing that could have happened to her. Now she's able to feel truly fulfilled at home and work.